One person that I met that is another great person. We have Dr. Cumings here, Rick Cumings, over the phone, and you just got off a shift picketing for the teachers union, correct?
Correct.
So how was that? How was that experience? I know you're on strike now. Today is the first day of the strike. Is that correct?
First day of the strike, yep. And it's historic because our union has never, ever gone on strike. So this was the first for our union, but for me also personally. Never done that before. So I didn't know what to expect. And it was better than I expected, actually.
And in what way?
Just the response that we got. A lot of people that drove by either honked or waved or whatever. Some that were not attached to the university. We had a couple other delivery people who stopped by and said, "Look, I'm union. I will not cross your line." And they did not. They were making deliveries or dealing with gas issues or something, and they, abided by our picket line. We thought that's pretty cool. We appreciated that support.
That is very cool. And I know you guys have been without a contract for some time, correct?
Well, about 15 months we've
Mm-hmm.
been without a contract, but they were negotiating months, before the end of the last contract. So it's been about 2 years of negotiation, and it came to this.
Wow. So, what's the next step? How do you guys come to a reconciliation between the state system and the APSCUF?
Well, good question. I know that they were negotiating finally when the other side finally came to the table. They negotiated Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a little bit yesterday, I found out. There were some concessions made on both sides, but not enough on a couple of substantial issues to make us say, sure, good enough. So we have made the offer back to Pashi to say, we'll be happy to return to the table if you want us to. And to this point, I have not heard a response. That's our next step, is to try to set up and continue negotiations. They found out we're serious. We would be willing to stand up, go on strike. And so the next step's really kind of up to them, see what they want to do.
What is the holdup? I know there's some issues with healthcare benefits, some issues with pay. What do you think is the primary issue that's holding up the progression of the negotiations? Do you think it is the pay issue or the benefits?
Well, pay is really not that big an issue.
Mm-hmm.
The initial proposal of 0% and 0% and 0% for the first 3 years, and then maybe 1% in the fourth year, obviously was not acceptable because no union got that. Other unions at our university got much more reasonable offers than that. So we were confident that they would come around to something more reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing is they want complete control to put faculty, no matter what you were trained for and have an expertise in whatever department they want to put you in. We're just going, that makes no sense at all. No. And then they want and they would do this purely on their own whim. They want to take full department, move them from one school to another school completely at their own whim. And we're saying, no, you won't do that. And the last thing was one of the biggest things is they want to treat our adjuncts, which is the part-time temporary faculty, who are already at the lowest salary rung. They want to cut their salary by 20% and increase their load of teaching. And we're just saying, no. They're the weakest part of our group. No, you are not going to treat our weakest part like that. So we're standing up for those things, really. Those are the things that are holding us back.
Brian Crawford with Dr. Rick Cumings of California University of Pennsylvania. Let me just clarify. The first thing you mentioned there in a list of grievances was it sounded like they were looking to put professors in any department that they wanted, so they wouldn't even be in their department of expertise. Is that correct? Am I understanding that right?
That's my understanding too, which obviously makes no sense.
No, I'm thinking like as a student, as a former student of CalU and possibly a future student, I'm thinking, why would I want to have somebody who's got an expertise like you have an expertise in communications? I don't want you teaching me pottery. Like that just doesn't That doesn't seem to make
I
any
know.
kind of logical sense to me whatsoever.
It doesn't. I mean, the only thing we can think is to them it must make some kind of financial sense in a way. I don't know. But part of it is, I mean, because they've held out the negotiations for so long, I mean, it's pretty obvious to us that they have already settled with the two other public unions on our campus, the staff and then the groundskeepers and so on, right?
Mm-hmm.
With us, they've been dragging it out, dragging their feet. I think they really want to see they can do away with our union. They've stated that in the past, and they much prefer to just do whatever they want to do without anybody having any kind of disagreement with them. There's no way to do that. Get rid of our union.
Why is your union being targeted over the others?
That's a good question. I don't know for sure. I mean, PASHE is in existence to work with us to make our state system one of the best that we can make it, quality education and so on. And
Hello, sir. I think we lost Dr. Cumings there. Let's see if we can get him back. But yeah, really interesting situation there. Oops. See if we can get a hold of him here. It's a unique situation, and I wonder how much the state budget comes into play in these negotiations. Let's see, it's still ringing here. Okay, let's see if we can get him back on here. All right, I think I got you. You there?
I'm here back.
Great. We were just talking in the minute pause there. How much do you think? How much does the state budget play into these negotiations, with the funds not being readily available from the state as they have been in years past?
Yeah. I mean, they play a significant part because the PASHE has to make the decision how will they disperse what monies they do get, and that level. Well, two things about that. We are called state-owned universities in our system, all 14 universities.
Yes.
And at one time, the state budget used to support us up to at least a 75% level of our budget. Now we are down in the low 20%. And the money that is given to us to support higher education in our system, we rank 48 out of 50 in the amount of money per student that they give us. So we're scraping the very bottom at this point, which is a big change from even 20 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I paid.
Yeah. And so students are being asked to pay a lot more in tuition, going up every year. Because why? The state legislature is not, well, part of our opinion is PASHE, and our chancellor in particular, that's what their job is, to raise funds for the whole existence of PASHE.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not doing that. They're just not doing that. They're not making a good case, and in many cases, not even saying anything about raising the budget for PASHE.
Do you look at things that go on, particularly on your campus, where the administration spent an estimated $1 million to renovate an administrator's apartment, and they're laying off employees, and now you've got a strike on your hands? Do you look at spending situations like that and kind of scratch your head, like you're throwing money into an apartment, but you can't?
Well, I mean, the renovation money does not come from the annual budget. There are capital expenses that come out of Harrisburg, which is in a different funding category, is my understanding.
Well,
anything that deals with building capital expenses projects, that's a completely different animal,
mm-hmm.
and that's not in the same category of salaries and grounds and academic stuff.
Well, they did use the actual money for the renovation came from a grant, but the actual labor came from tuition costs, to my understanding.
Okay, yeah, could be. I honestly don't know about that. And if that's the case, it doesn't seem to me like really good management skills.
So what's next? Obviously, we're going to get back to the negotiation tables. Are you feeling confident in the union's objective?
Well, faculty that was out there today is very high, but it's the first day,
Mm-hmm.
and this is everybody's first experience with it. And so we want to feel confident, but at the same time, I'm not sure that we know how we should feel and how we should gauge how things are happening either. You know, we will know a whole lot more about confidence levels when we hear back from ASHI and their response to what they see and what they hear.
Now, is there any chance that this could go to like some sort of an arbiter? I'm in a union as well, and we just came out of a contract negotiation situation where I work, and it eventually went to an arbiter, and the arbiter made the final decision. How does your agreement work with the state system?
We made that proposal a couple of times to ASHI before the strike situation, and they refused it both times.
Wow. So.
Yeah. So I mean, that tells us that they're not real confident that what they are proposing would even pass that muster, if you will.
Yeah.
So we're pretty confident we would win in that arbitrator situation.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you guys. I hope everything goes well, especially given how they want to move people into different departments. I just think of the quality of education, and that just baffles me because I mean. I'm organizing right now an event here in Millville, and there's a lot of fundraising that needs to be done and things like that, and I'm delegating. I wouldn't take on a fundraising position because that's not something I'm good at. I'm a good talker. I'm good at bringing people to the table.
Right.
People don't have the same skill set. That's why people go to school to learn different trades and learn different things. So the idea that you're going to move people around, that really baffles me.
Makes sense to you and I, but if they think, well, we can save a few $1,000s here or there, then they think in different ways than we do. It comes down to that, I think.
Yes, definitely.
We don't understand that.
Dr. Rick Cumings of California University of Pennsylvania, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, and best of luck to you.